Welcome, everyone. This is Glenda Dawson, and you're watching Channeled Messages from the Council of Nine, Council of Light, etc., etc. I have members here with me that every week we get together and we do this for the betterment of humanity. And of course, so on, because every living thing benefits from one person, one being, raising their vibrations and remembering who they really are. So what we do is they provide us with coordinates, and those coordinates may or may not make sense to us. We don't have to. We just follow. We go to where they want us to go to, and by being there, we remember something. We may get private messages. We may get messages for those that are watching. You yourself, if you decide to travel with us, which all you have to do is set the intention to go with us, you will also spark that remembrance. People have told me that their gifts are opening up, that they're starting to feel their chakras opening up, that they feel more connected to the oneness, that they're starting to remember where they came from, not just, okay, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Virginia, Washington. No, I'm talking about where they came from originally, where their soul really began. And I'm not talking about the divine creator creating the soul. They're also remembering that, but they're also remembering the first time that they decided to incarnate, the first time that they decided to come to Earth or go to Mars or go to Andromeda, and wherever it was, they decided to learn different lessons. And this is why we came here. A lot of the times we come with no remembrance, so we can learn the lessons and have our soul grow and evolve without the interference of the knowing. If you don't know something, then when you learn it again and you learn the lesson, you don't try to use all that knowledge that you already had. You it's like a brand new baby that comes in and you're learning for the first time how to change the diaper, how to bathe, how to feed. And it's a process and you just learn. No, there isn't one single mother really that has ever said, "Oh, I know everything to do." No, you take step by step. And for that matter, to a father, it's all a learning process. And this is the exact same thing. You evolve, you learn, you let go of that box that they put you in and all that pre-programming that you have received, that there's nothing beyond what you see. You will notice that box and those walls break down. And slowly you will feel easier, you will feel more clear, and you may spark an awakening moment. You may feel your frequency rising, and you may also realize that there's a lot more to you than what you have been shown. So, with that being said, if you want to join us, close your eyes, take a few deep breaths. And usually, when I say take a deep breath, I like people to breathe in through their nose and exhale through their mouth. Why? Because it's a full circuit. You bring in divine light, you exhale some frustration, you bring in calmness, you exhale fear, you bring in love, you exhale anything that doesn't serve you any longer. So let's close our eyes, take nice deep breaths. I open the floor to the members that are here.
10, 19, 22, 33, 1. 10, 19, 22, 33, 1.
Okay, thank you. Again, if anybody arrives there, you could give your experiences while I am slowly traveling there. Think I'm on a turtle day. I am on a turtle day. That's interesting. That's funny. I just said the statement Tuesday. Okay. Uh, and I only know this because she poked out her head and kind of twisted and looked back at me like, well, what do you think? And went back in, you know. Okay.
Mm.
Lovely. Uh, everybody's a jokester time. Anyway, um, okay. I am arriving at a very distant planet. A planet that looks like maybe Mars, but it's not Mars. It's in a whole other galaxy, even. Um, it looks kind of orangey, reddish. Looks like it has layers. I'm looking at the whole planet from back there as we slowly get there. Um, and it's very much light in like the middle of it, and the other ends are a lot darker. It's the best way I can. A good example would be North Pole, South Pole. Those are very dark as I'm seeing them. And the middle atmosphere, the equator, basically, and around there is a lot more, it's lighter, a lot more light there. Um, okay, I do see a lot of um, liquid that is very hot and bubbly, but she's going to land in a very stable section. Okay. And of course, she says, look around because we're going to go in under this surface. Um, so it's a very slow trip going in there. I'm like, where's my dragon? Anyway, I'm
Your
grateful.
dragon's there.
Yes, I'm just grateful that we're taking it nice and slow, the scenic route, actually. Anyway, um, okay, so if anybody arrives anywhere, this this
I see where we are, and you're on the money. This is a planet that up is down and down is up. And when I say that, what I mean is you're on a sea turtle, not just a turtle, but a sea turtle, and it will seek out the dry land. What we would identify as uh, sea creatures will be on the surface. When we go in to the ground, what we see will be uh, land creatures. I don't understand why that is, but that is.
Mhm.
Um, I think part of the dark polarities is there is so much negative tension in the galaxy as well as our physical planet here on Earth, that they're constantly pulling, constantly trying to distract from that which is light and good and holy. Holy in the broad sense of the term. Um, there is a spiral slide. It's not a staircase. It's more of a slide, but one that the turtle can walk freely down, without the steps to hinder
Mhm.
the progress.
Mhm.
Um, and it's a wide spiral, so the descent is again slow and gradual. Um, I'm nearing the landing platform, if you want to call it that.
Mhm.
And the liquid that surrounds us is more water-like. The bubbly fluid on the surface is kind of lava-like, um, whereas this is
Mhm.
cool and inviting and restorative. Um, Leaf, what are you picking up? Anything?
I keep getting the idea of there's something like tidal locking involved with with this planet, but tidal locking as we are familiar with it really wouldn't explain the poles uh, being both poles being uh, dark.
Okay.
If one pole was dark and the other one light, that would then the tidal locking would make sense. But that's all that I've gotten so far was just tidal locking keeps coming into my head for some reason, even though
When
it
you
doesn't make sense.
when you say tidal locking, what do you mean, even regardless of what it means here?
Well, like our moon is tidally locked. We only see one face of the moon. So
Ah,
depending on where you like half of the polar caps would be in light and half would be
gotcha,
in dark. But that
gotcha.
doesn't make sense for how Glenda described it. It doesn't fit.
Okay.
Um, mm, because of the reverse polarities that we're experiencing, the dark top, bottom. Um, Remember, I said that what we perceive as top is bottom and bottom is up top. So,
Mhm.
mm, yeah, it does make sense. Um,
Yeah, it's
but
hard for us to explain it, but
mhm,
yeah.
um, this is a place too where it does not revolve in the typical fashion.
Mhm.
It Okay, it is reversed of what we would perceive as the correct direction. And I leave it vague on purpose because it also zigzags. It does not go in a circular fashion. It does not go in an elliptical fashion. It zigzags.
Mm. Hmm.
Interesting.
Very interesting. Weird.
Apparently, in the galaxy we're in, there are a large number of uh, dark holes or black holes, whatever.
Mhm.
And the zigzag is bouncing off the perimeter of those to avoid them.
Mm. Mm.
But down, like I said, down at the platform, uh, it's kind of a automatic immersion into this water epicenter. And it seems odd to see land animals in the water, but kind of where we're at.
Mm. Yeah, this is one of those where I'm like, okay, I'm just writing here.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Um, but I think it's reflective of some of the topsy-turvy craziness that is reflected here on Earth. Things that should not be happening are happening.
Mhm.
And the forces that are normally in play to right things are equally befuddled.
Mhm.
So we're being called to rely on our faith. And I say faith not in a particular religious framework, but faith in truth, faith in light, faith in a creator, if you believe in a higher power.
Mhm.
And what is it that that entity teaches us? That is what we are to cling to. Not the rhetoric, not the negativity, not anything else. So
Mhm.
people are being asked to step forward in a very, very mm, concrete way, for lack of a better way of saying it, and embrace that no matter how tenuous
Mhm.
that quote unquote faith may be, but hold fast to it. Um, there is truth there that will dominate in the resolution. Um, note, I did not say end, I said resolution. And it's actually a very hopeful picture. And when I said that, there was a brightening in this layer.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know how light permeates it except through light beings, but that's what I'm seeing.
As I agree with you. I saw that get brighter. That moment. Um, so it's maybe a direct correlation with what's happening with everything all around. So if
Mhm.
the vibrations, right, the vibrations are raising and increasing, then and the frequency is increasing, the lighter it gets. Um, by stating what you said, which was the truth, it became brighter. So it means that it's showing you that it is truth. It is the what you receive from your heart, and you're speaking through your heart and with your heart. I'm still on that tutorial. Um, you
It's
know,
giving you a solid pathway.
yes,
Um,
yes, okay, we could say that.
that there's so much upside down that it's giving you a firm landing spot, if you will, that a firm traveling spot, a solidity that would be absent otherwise.
Mhm, mhm. Uh, yes, it's definitely giving me the senior group and giving me uh, a lot of a lot of opportunities to really see everything and notice every single detail that I might not have had a chance to or an opportunity to if we rush through the whole like or underground scene. Um, Now I am in a place where is It's very interesting. There's tunnels all over the place, but in
Mhm.
between the tunnels on one side of the wall is solid, but then for me, the right-hand side has arches that you can just walk through to another tunnel. So it's kind of like you're just walking all over or moving around. One side is there's no way, so that would be the outer wall. But all these other tunnels are letting you go through wherever you want to go through. And every single time that you go through one of the archways, there's at least 10 different directions that you can go to even further. So it what I'm getting out of this is that even though you may be focusing only on the outer layer, on the other wall, on the one that you cannot get through, to focus more on the other side where there is many different roads you could take, many different options you could take. Not to let yourself be stuck, change your perspective. It may seem extremely hard at any given time, but just sit for a minute. Go slow. Take the opportunity that's being given to you to look at all the different directions and different options that are in front of you that you may not notice if you're going too fast, which is hence why I'm on a turtle. So basically, to the right-hand side, every single archway leads you to a different section when there's more, at least 10 different archways. And they're like one right after another. If you go around the tunnel, the outside wall tunnel, and there's one archway and another archway and another archway, each leading you to 10 different other ways. So what they're basically saying, you're never really stuck. You just have to sometimes change courses, sometimes change directions, sometimes even just breathe so you can see the different opportunities. And also not focusing on the negative, but focusing on the possibilities. It's not always, and we're all human, so we all do this. We sometimes get in a situation or a problem or that day isn't working out as we expected. And instead of looking at the opportunities that are being those doors that are being opened for us, we're looking at we're stuck, we cannot go this way. But maybe this is the way you're supposed to go. And it's okay. It's okay to be human. That is what this whole experience is about. They're reminding us that not any one of us in this dimension, in this realm on earth right now is God. We may be part of God. We may be part of being a creator because we create our own environment, our own life, our own uh, opportunities, but you're also not all knowledgeable and all being because you chose to come to this realm to live and to experience being human, to give your soul the opportunity to learn and evolve layer by layer. And are all, you all make mistakes. We all do. The key here is to recognize it. And once you recognize it, take accountability for it. And once you do that, then you try to make amends as best way as you can. And the most important is not repeating it, not putting yourself in that situation to repeat that mistake, because then you're not learning, you're not evolving. You're just following a pattern that if you don't break, you'll never get out of your own vicious circle. And I'm still on the sea turtle, which is going like backwards instead of I'm like, okay, let's go in there and do 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 do. So it's teaching me patience for sure today. So
This is governed by a heart space. There is definitely a heart presence within any of the tunnels, any of the archways. I actually see a heart over each archway.
mm,
And what it's signifying is that no matter what archway or path that you choose,
mhm,
your heart will lead you to what you need, the lessons that maybe you need to learn that
mhm,
may not always be pleasant, but
mhm,
they are part of putting your soul, putting your being back into a healthy and whole state.
mhm,
Um, we don't always like to look at the dark necessarily.
mhm,
Some people run like hell from it. Um, but if you choose a heart space and a heart path, uh, no matter how difficult it could be, it may not
mhm,
be, it may be very pleasant,
mhm,
but um, it will lead you to wholeness, oneness, and great healing.
mhm. Yes.
And as you guys were talking, I kept seeing you just described the tunnel as being flat on one side with tunnels radiating out from it. Well, I kept getting the idea of a sun rising and setting as well, let's start it this way. If the sun were fully in the sky, not sinking below the horizon at all, you would have 360 doorways, okay, for each
Mhm,
degree, a doorway for each degree or a tunnel for each degree. But as the sun set down behind the horizon, some of those doorways get blocked off. If the sun was set halfway, then you would have, instead of 360 doorways, you would have 180 doorways. And as the sun continued to settle behind the horizon, you would get fewer and fewer until they all went away. And then as the sun rises again, the doorways start to open up. So
mhm,
it's much like life. Um, there are possibilities that open up, and if we don't act on them, those possibilities disappear, go away. But then the next day, if you will, other possibilities come come available to us.
okay, okay. Yeah, I'm still on the third. Uh, I do see all now the hearts, uh, yes, the hearts are turning into ruby crystals, kind of ruby gems.
Mhm.
Um, and I notice that now we finally are traveling through one, and the crystal lit up when we finally went through that tunnel, that archway. Mm, kind of like a way to scan your heart to make sure that your heart is fully aware of what's happening and fully functioning. I don't mean the physical heart, talking about the actual emotional, caring, compassionate heart. Okay. Mm.
And I'm sensing chakra colors down the various tunnels.
Mm. Mhm. And when you said that, I was getting that depending on the chakra color could be what chakra you particularly need help with,
Mhm.
to align that chakra, to clear that chakra more, to run it, get it to run properly.
That's weird. The image of washing dishes and really scrubbing a baked on pan comes to mind.
Okay.
Which is what we need to do with our chakras sometimes.
Yes, but okay. Oh, that's funny.
Mhm.
Now, slowly. They're saying that everyone now needs to find their own way back out, to pick a tunnel or an archway or whatever, go through it and start heading out. Go to the one that resonates the most, the one that's calling you. That's the one that you need the most at this moment.
Your turtle is making 3 turns counterclockwise and 1 turn clockwise. And that is the direction you need to be in.
Mhm. Oof. Okay, my dragon had enough. The dragon's picking me up now.
And said, let's move this along. Let's get this done. You
Moving
spend
too
enough time
slow
here.
for you, were we?
Uh, he also put the turtle on his back too. So he's like,
Well, that's good.
let's
Well, that's
go.
cool. There's an image for you.
It's more like, let's go. We're done. Okay. This is
Also
our
threw the finger at me, but that's okay. But it is time to start to meander close to
yeah.
your point.
Mhm. Okay, so I am out of under the earth, per se, under the dirt, whatever that, under the surface. The dragon is now going around that planet just to give us a beautiful visual of how it looks up and close, and as he's flying around and looking at all the layers of light and different types of environments, because they're all different layers, different things.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's going through the darker sides, and there's beauty even in there. So it isn't really dark, dark. There's the possibility of beautiful things in there. It's like when you go see a house and um, it's a house that's a little run down and stuff like that, but you're able to envision what could be done to really make this house back to better than it was originally. And that's the kind of thing he's showing me, that no matter how dark it is, it could turn into light with the with your perspective, the way you look at things, with your decisions, with your boundaries, with your abilities to look at the possibilities. All right, we're slowly going to start coming down. 5, take a nice couple of deep breaths. 4, 3. Are you starting to get a feel coming back into your own particular environment where you started from? 2, notice all the sounds and the smells and the aromas and the beauty. Maybe you're somewhere where you could hear the birds or the cars or just pure silence. Either way, go 2 and 1 back into your self. Now continue being that way. Completely arrive. Taking a couple of deep breaths. You don't have to open your eyes. But I do want to take this opportunity to thank you for being here. And please do share so that others can also have remembrance and hopefully it resonates with them. And also subscribe. It does not cost anything. And as always, we thank you all and we love you. See you next week, next Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern. Bye.